Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for the round of 16 and someone will be going through to the quarterfinals. New Zealand versus Scotland. This is New Zealand's first game of the World Cup Sevens, whereas it is the second game for Scotland. So you'd have to say that gives them that little bit of an edge, having already been there, done that in their opening game. But for New Zealand, it will be Nicole, Nshu, Dixon, Moses Leo, Rokalisoa, McGarvey Black, and Molia. Then for Scotland, Cullen, Kelly, Farndale, Owsley, Barretto, Elms, and Lee Jones. We're underway, ladies and gentlemen. Straight after that last game we saw between Samoa and USA, these two sides have kicked off. Scotland have got the ball inside of their own 22 at the moment, and it's going to be kicked downfield by the number 11, Lee Jones. Now waiting for this one to bounce up. It's going to be taken nicely by Sam Dixon. Finds the offload on the outside to now Amanaki Nicole. Great run forward here, and he's going to be over the line. And unfortunately for Scotland, they were able to stop him for half a second. I believe it was Owsley who got onto him. In fact, no, sorry, Reese Cullen. He was grabbing his shorts, grabbing his shirt, just grabbing any bit of clothing he could get his hands on. But Amanaki Nicole just kept driving those legs and was able to get over the line. And that didn't take long, says Sebastian. Yeah, a lot quicker than I expected for New Zealand to be able to score a try in this contest. Kiwi Lads, good man, says Reed Nichols. And let's go, Scots Ians, says Nathan. There are New Zealand flags from Etene. So the winner of this contest, they will be moving through to the quarterfinals. Now, if you're wondering who they will be playing in the quarterfinals, they will be playing the winner of Argentina versus Kenya, which is only just around the corner. But that is going to be a misconversion attempt. So the score remains 5-0 for New Zealand after 1 minute and 20 seconds. Now they are showing all of the cuts on their shirt. They won last time. They won the time before that. New Zealand are looking to make it a three-piece in the World Cup Sevens. But it's going to be tough. There are a lot of great teams at the moment in the Sevens World Cup. You've got Fiji, South Africa, Australia, Argentina, Kenya, also Ireland. Could be a dark horse, France. And then Samoa, team that have just managed to make their way through the qualifying process. 5.5 minutes, or in fact 5 minutes left of this first half now. Ball about to be fed in. Nicely done once again. Now it's going to be slung across by Tony Nshu. Nice work from the Kiwis to hang on to that one. There was Sione Molia. Now going short side, Tony Nshu. A little bit of space now. Oh, he's just done his ankle, I would think. The ground is brutal at Cape Town. It's made more tackles than the players in all of the games combined at the moment. Kicked him behind. The grubber's worked out. Sam Dixon waits for the bounce. He gets it, but Barretto able to stop him just in time. Now looking for the pass. It's gone wide to McGarvey Black, and he scores again. New Zealand get themselves their second. Now this kick could be an important one. If New Zealand can nail this, it will mean that they have got a very good chance of having a strong lead going into halftime. But another try, Sam Dixon, tackled initially by Barretto, only 5 meters out from the line. Then it was the pop pass over the top from Sione Molia. Found McGarvey Black on the outside, who was able to put it in the corner and does score the try. Does enjoy the camera. McGarvey Black finds it straight away, knows exactly where it was going to be. That is not the kick he'll want to remember, or at least Rokalisoa won't want to remember that one. 10-0 now for New Zealand over Scotland. So a good start to this match. 6 passes, 1 defender beaten, 4 phases in, and New Zealand get themselves over the line again. Rokalisoa kicks off into the shade at Cape Town Stadium. Barretto takes it and actually manages to do an American football style throw while still in the air, which is very impressive. A low tackle made on a Lee Jones. Ball going to be available once again. Now New Zealand rushing up, trying to shut down the Scottish attack, because when they get space, they can be extremely dangerous. Jamie Farndale running straight at his opposite number, Dixon. That is round the neck. So I would think that would be close to a penalty. In fact, they're going to say that it's going to become a maul. It's going to work out. New Zealand get the scrum. Probably pretty lucky, because he did actually have him almost in a chokehold for a bit there, Sam Dixon. Farndale, he'll be disappointed with that one, not being able to get his knee to the ground. New Zealand now with the scrum. We're going to see it again. Farndale, he takes a big contact from Sam Dixon. And as soon as it's called a maul, they did get Moses Leo in there as well to help keep it on the side of the Kiwis. Ball being fed in by Rokali Soa. Ball has popped in. It's a bit of a rough one, and it's going to be a knock-on against the Kiwis. The referee says play on just for now. Now we go back, as Barreto did pass it straight into the hands of Tony Nashu, which is, of course, not his teammate. That was a bit unfortunate for him. 2 minutes left of the first half. The next game that we are covering, ladies and gentlemen, it will be the matchup taking place between Kenya and Argentina. So that will be an exciting contest. The winner of that faces off against the winner of this New Zealand versus Scotland game in the quarterfinals tomorrow morning at about 5:30 a.m. So it is quite an early morning one. That is for sure. The ball's going to be fed in, nicely taken by Barreto at the back. There was a lot of pressure on Kalen Barreto there. Now he's given it straight back to the Kiwis. Amanaki Nicole with a couple more fence. This man can't be stopped. Once again, just bulldozers past two of the Scottish players and through them as well. And Amanaki Nicole, this match has scored 2. And just like that, he's almost leading try scorer in the competition, or just not too far off it anyway. Barreto, the loose ball, it didn't find the hands of Cullen. Did find the hands of Amanaki Nicole, though, and then as soon as he had the chance, he kept on running. New Zealand now 15-0 up, still inside of the first half. Scotland are going to need a huge second 7 minutes. Gets the tap on the head from Sam Dixon, who's a very happy man with that one. Rokali Soa, he has got that kick over. That is a lot better, and that will build his confidence heading into the next match, I would think. Now, 45 seconds left of the first half. Rokali Soa once again just gets it to go to the 10. Sam Dixon unable to clean it up. Instead, Farndale, the captain of Scotland, jumps on it. See that Moses Leo putting on the extra pressure. Also, should mention the bench that New Zealand have got. They've got Tangi Tau, they've got Regan Ware, Scott Curry, quite a few very dangerous individuals. Oh, almost stolen there for Farndale, but unfortunately just got the fingertip to it. But that was it. Now, Sam Dixon fires it back to Naroni McGarvey Black. Goes across the Rokali Soa. He breaks through the line. That's going to be another try to New Zealand. And that is going to be right at the end of the first half that New Zealand have been able to do so, sitting 22 points to 0 just as the siren sounds. This should be a nice, easy 24-0 going into halftime for New Zealand. But Farndale, it was the work and the breakdown from Moses Leo to cause the breakdown turnover. Leo then fired it across the Rokali Soa, and as soon as he saw a gap, he went through it in such a dominant first half. Exactly right. And it makes me wonder, how much are Scotland missing Jordan Edmonds? Because that man at the start of the Sevens series for 2022, he was a massive draw for them. He got 4 tries in one game, slowly started disappearing a little bit, and I believe that was due to injuries that slowly kept on giving him less and less game time. He would have been a massive one for Scotland throughout this World Cup, but sadly not a part of the side. Instead, Sofalaren off the bench. I think he's going to have a very big impact. Matt Davison, Finlay Callahan, a few of these young guys certainly going to need a big performance. But New Zealand, you'd have to say a near-perfect performance in that first half. Maybe, I want to say the one penalty against them and maybe one handling error. But other than that, I don't think Scotland have really been out of their own half throughout this matchup. New Zealand's been looking strong, keeping them trapped. And then the mistakes have been coming. Speaking of Edmonds, Scottish Rugby have called off their fixtures. Seems like the Premiership will go ahead. Seems kind of weird, doesn't it, that the Premiership is happening, but Scottish Rugby, the Premier League, and pretty much any other thing that is happening in England has been called off. But the Gallagher Premiership's like, nah, we're doing it. We're doing it anyway. The moment they are having a chat to Levi Milford, the Samoan substitute for that match. Okay, he said there, we don't focus on whoever we're about to play, we focus on ourselves. And I believe who's about to come is going to be probably Fiji. So that was the team that you probably do need to focus on quite heavily once you do end up in that scenario. But New Zealand, they have had their huddle. They've all run back off the field. 24-0 at halftime. How many more points will we see from New Zealand throughout this exciting fixture? But anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated you guys all being here for these contests. We have got Argentina versus Kenya just around the corner. Also, Fiji versus Wales, New Zealand versus Colombia, Blitzbox, they are going to be taking on Chile and then also South Africa, France. I believe those are all of them. Kate Middleton is the patron of English rugby. She's still alive. Game on, lads. Says Sebastian there. Now New Zealand once again have this ball. Amanaki Nicole goes across the rocker less. So he scored himself one in the first half, almost able to break through the line. But Barreto makes an important tackle. Now we'll be back across Naroni McGarvey Black. That's going to be forward by about 4 meters. And now Scotland have got themselves a line out. It is always said if a side scores a certain amount of points in the first half, the opposition can score that same amount of points in the second. It's a little bit of a slower start for Scotland, though. They will need to score within the next probably a minute or so just to make sure that they are ticking over those points. But theoretically, 4 tries, 3 of which converted, Scotland win this game if New Zealand aren't able to score anymore. But yet to get a visit to the opposition 22 for the Scottish. I mentioned how they have been pretty much in their own half for that first 7 minutes. Some of those stats are looking even worse for Scotland. They've made 6 tackles. They've missed 4. New Zealand have not missed a tackle. They have also scored 4 tries in the process. They've had 10 carries, 18 passes, 2 offloads. I'm trying to think of what New Zealand have done wrong in this game. And that sounds really like, I guess, blowing wind towards the Kiwis. But I think other than maybe like this little handling error that we've just seen, the forward pass, I think that's one of the first mistakes we have seen from New Zealand. Now Scotland fire it out the back. It's going to be a great run. Now a mistake might come up soon, although they've been able to make the tackle. Beautiful offload. Ball on the outside. First time in the opposition 22. And Scotland get over the line, I believe, although it might have been a little mistake. Lee Jones looks confident. He ate some grass in the process, getting in a little bit of extra fibre for his diet. But he ate the ground pretty hard for his face there. Hopefully he has still got all of his teeth intact. Right. He gets stripped in the end by, I believe it was the number 11, Moses Leo. He slammed his face on the ground. He slammed the ball on the ground as well. Hello, just as we speak, the Premiership have called it off as well. Can't blame them, says Sebastian. Yeah, it does make sense. At the end of the day, I guess all of the games or just the ones today? I'm going to have a quick look, see what I can find out as well, Sebastian. But that's weird timing that just as we start talking about it, they actually call off their games. I guess maybe they're watching. Hello, everyone. From the Premiership, I should mention as well. Yeah, it hasn't actually got it for me, but I guess that's because we're from New Zealand, so we're a bit slow overall in terms of the news. Now, nice work from Tony Nyashu. Scotland a little bit back into this contest. 24 points to 5. Now, Rockily, so a little bit of a risky pass from New Zealand. Sam Dixon now going to start striding. He's got a good running frame. Sam Dixon goes for the offload over the top. Finds Rockily Soa, who's cutting the defence inside out. And it's going to be another try for New Zealand and another try for Rockily Soa. So I guess that means that I won't be doing the game at 6:45 a.m. between the Bears and also the Bath. Or Bath, I guess I should call them, rather than the Bath. But that's the thing. With the Sevens going to when it was almost going to be that I'd still be awake. Anyway, tell you what, Sam Dixon has got a good running frame. He's also got a massive vein in his left arm, which looks like it would be very handy for taking blood from if he ever needs a blood test, check any of his oxygen or white blood cell levels, anything like that. I'm sure they are able to find the blood relatively easily. For that man looking right into the sun for Rockily Soa. It doesn't matter though. The kick has gone over now, 31 points to 5 in favour of New Zealand. Tomorrow's fixtures are still displayed as on, or maybe it's just today, says Sebastian. So yeah, because Premier League, the whole round is off, isn't it? If I'm not wrong, the whole of the round has been postponed, or is it only the games that were going to be taking place soon that are cancelled or / postponed, and then moving forward, they will still have some of the other games? It's very confusing, isn't it, in a way? But it's one of those ones, it's unforeseen times. Like, at the end of the day, we haven't had a queen pass away when we've had live broadcasting of games happening and the whole round, says Sebastian there. 3.5 minutes left. And now Barreto puts the ball in. Scotland need another try, and they need it right now if if they do want a good chance. The knee has gone down, but it is going to be a massive counter scrum from New Zealand. Kurt Baker, as he was picking up that ball, had a smile on his face. Now a bit of a slip there for New Zealand. It's going to be close to the turnover. In fact, Regan Ware has lost the ball. He's disappointed with that one, but at the end of the day, he slipped. They got over him straight away, and there was definitely a clean turnover made. Cullen, a little bit of a slip there from him as well. It seems like it's still very slippery out there in the park. Oh, quick feet from Jamie Farndale trying to get the Muhammad Ali shuffle going. Didn't really work, although now this is a better run from his teammate. Going down the wing will be the young number 11, Lee Jones. Penalty to New Zealand, though, in the breakdown. And like they're saying, a lot of calls going against the run of play for the Scottish here. 2 minutes 40 left. I think New Zealand will just look to kick this ball into touch unless... Actually, no, I take that back. I think they'll go for the tap. Okay, now they've tried to kick for touch. It's actually going to bounce into touch, or is it? No, it doesn't go out. So the mistake from New Zealand there. I was just about to say, I think they'll try a few other different things. Maybe a tap and a kick in behind just to try and test everything they've got in their arsenal. But Caleb Tangitau makes the tackle onto the number 10, Sofalara, now just inside of their own 22 here. Scotland, nice run from Barreto. Another pass out to Cullen. Good low tackle made by Dixon. New Zealand have not been missing too many at all. It's a bit of a counter-ruck. Barreto does well, though, to clean that ball up. Now one-handed take from Scotland. Another offload. Barreto goes across. Another big pass out to Sofalara and Caleb Tangitau. Able to drag their men down. My voice is about to disappear by the sounds of it as well, which is not a good sign. Currently 2 minutes left in this match between Scotland and New Zealand. Barreto had extra pressure on him. It's another knock on. I do see Scott Curry is now out there on the field as well, and they're saying hands on hips, hands on thighs for Scotland. They are getting suffocated with the way New Zealand are defending here. They're just right in their face early on. Now, 1 minute 15 left on the clock. Can New Zealand get themselves another? Now, we did see Samoa bring up the 40 points. New Zealand wouldn't mind being able to join that club as well. But the next game that we are going to be covering, ladies and gentlemen, is Kenya versus Argentina. That is just around the corner. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. You will be redirected straight from this one over to the next one. Regan Ware now. Good tackle made on him. Only a few meters out. Kurt Baker. Now the wide pass goes straight into the hands of the number 5. Even the referee is slipping and sliding. But Lewis Ormond has been able to score. I don't know what's happened to this pitch, but it doesn't seem like it's holding together as well as they possibly anticipated. Damn, these guys taken off, says Nathan. So they will face the winner of Kenya versus Argentina. Either way, it's going to be a tricky one. Yeah, the ref goes down. Everyone's like, you'd think the referee would at least be allowed bigger sprigs in his boots, try and keep on his feet. But he also, it's the quick change of direction. The defense actually slipped there for Scotland as well. So you kind of got to get used to how easily you can fall over. That one's gone over for New Zealand, and now they've actually still got enough time for one more chance of being able to get themselves another try. But more than likely, if you're New Zealand, soon as you get the ball, you keep on running. People are fuming. They had tickets and accommodation arrangements for the rugby games, says Sebastian there. Yeah, it's one of those ones that there's going to be a lot of angry people. I hope refunds are a thing. Surely you can get a refund for the situation. Like I mentioned, it's kind of unforeseen circumstances. Barreto now looking on the short side, trying to break his way through. He's going to be wrestled down by Caleb Tangitau, who thinks he's got a chance on the short side. Not a lot of space. Now slings it back across to McCarvey Black. Now, what I was saying for New Zealand is the fact that they are definitely going to want to play for as long as they physically can. Their next game's in about 20 hours' time. In fact, longer than that, about 26 minutes' time. 26 hours' time, sorry. I should say, riffle the way a move. So they will want plenty of time under their belt. Caleb Tangitau goes in for a final try, and that is going to be New Zealand moving up to 43 points to 5 over Scotland. A lot more one-sided than quite a few people would have been anticipating, but it was a good wide pass from Scott Curry. Tangitau, though, got plenty of pace. He has been able to score in his first ever Rugby Sevens World Cup. So the next game, we are going to be popping over to it right now, ladies and gentlemen. Scotland have been knocked out of the round of 16, and now Kenya versus Argentina is just around the corner. So we'll see you all in a very short moment.